Those who are new to the call, welcome. My name is Nathan Williams. I am the developer of AIRO software. This is the call we have every week, every Sunday at this time, which is just a 101 call. So on this call, I'll go over some basics of trading. What is a pip, how to use the software, the MT4 trading software, the platform that we actually trade on. Then I'll kind of go over AIRO. Explain to you guys what AIRO, strategy number one, how it works, which is the main strategy that we actually push, because strategy number one is the simplest, as well as strategy number one, has a very high probability win rate. All right. So we'll go over that as well. Real quick background on myself. I've been trading for over 13 years in all financial markets, in the Forex market specifically, 4.5 years. I designed AIRO because I wanted to find an easier way to teach others how to trade the Forex market in a short amount of time with a high probability win rate. And that was the whole goal, was to shorten the amount of time that people can learn how to trade and to help them make money a lot faster just by following simple rules. All right. And my passion, is to teach. And so I think strategy number 5 was launched today. Strategy number 6 will come out on Thursday. There are different strategies for the AIRO software. AIRO is just a visual aided software. But when you combine all the different strategies with it, AIRO becomes a trading system. So it's a system from the standpoint of it can be utilized for traders of all types, whether you are a brand new trader, trader has been around for a few months, trader has been around for a few years, or you're an experienced trader. There are different strategies and very simplistic ways on how to implement these strategies when trading just by using the actual visual aid, which is AIRO, the actual software itself. So first things first, let's go ahead and show the disclaimer before we get started. Risk disclaimer, as you guys know, trading Forex with any type of tool or software that assists you is still a high level of risk, and you can lose some or all of your capital just due to the risk of trading in the financial market. All right. Avoid Prime is not actually providing investment advice. All they do is provide education and educational tools to help you in your journey in learning how to trade Forex. All right. So as I pull up the chart here, I want to tell you guys about the beta test group. As the beta test group was the first group to take the software and trade with it before it was brought to all members. And the beta test group, they had the prototype version, which is it was a very bad version, I guess you could say, compared to what we have now. Very, very dumbed down version. And they were able to win at a very high percentage rate, over 80% of the time. And when they gave me a lot of their feedback, I went back and redesigned software to what we have today. And what we have today is a trading system with multiple strategies so that you can trade at different times of the day, but then also you can trade based on what comfort level you have. Some strategies people like more than others. And that's the beauty of the actual software itself and the trading strategies that go with them. So you guys see here, whenever you sign up for AIRO, you guys will get a VPS, and you'll need to go to your broker, and you'll need to sign up for a broker. All right. Once you sign up for a broker, you'll be able to log into your VPS, into your MT4, which is the only thing you have access to, and you'll be able to utilize this MT4 platform. So I'm going to show you a couple of tricks on how the platform works. We'll talk to you about some basic stuff like pips and how to make a trade, just the basics that you'll need to know to use the software. And then we'll show you AIRO, and we'll go through strategy number 1. So the first things first, when you set up a chart, your chart will be blank. Here's what my chart looks like, but these are custom settings. All right, so these settings here are custom. And so what I'm going to do here is if you want to get these custom settings, right click on the screen here until you get the menu, go to properties, and then you want to go to colors. Here are the colors for this special settings that I have, as I call it my default settings. So if you want, take a screenshot, take a picture of these settings. And then you also want to take a picture of these settings right here. All right, so I go back real quick. Here's the colors. Take a picture of those. And then under common, take a picture of these settings or a screenshot. All right, once you're done and you made all those changes, you want to select OK. And then the first thing you want to do is you want to come to this icon right here on the menu bar or the toolbar here. This icon looks like a little chart. You hover your mouse over it, you see it says templates. Select that and hit save template. I call mine default template. So default, you just type in default.tpl and then you hit save. I'll leave that up there for a second so you guys can use that. All right, when you hit save, it will automatically save it here. You'll be able to go back to the templates and see the default. All right. That way, if you have something wrong on the chart, all you have to do is hit default and it'll take it back to this basic setting. All right. This is a chart, Forex chart. As you can see here, these candlesticks, if they're green, means price is heading up. So price opened up here at this level and it closed up here. That's why it's green. When price opens up at one point and closes below it, below where it, so price opened here on this candle at the top and it closed down here. You're asking me, how do I know? Well, I know because it's red. It's a bear candle. So a candle that is a sale, a candle where price opened higher than where it closed will be red, and vice versa. Price opened higher than where it closed, it will be a green candle. That is why candles are red and green, based off of where price opened and closed at. All right. On this chart, you also have your bid and your ask line. The white line is the bid. That line is going to always be on the bottom, and the ask line is red. It's always going to be on the top, no matter what colors you make them. The bid line on the bottom is the sale. So when you're selling, you're going to sell at the bid. When you're buying, you buy at the ask. These are just basic fundamentals of trading. This is even beyond the Forex market. This is in the stocks. This is in options. This is even in cryptocurrency and gold and precious metals and energies like oil. All right. You always buy at the ask price, the price that people are asking you to buy at, and you always sell at the bid price. The bid price is the price that people are trying to sell at. They're putting it up there. All right. This dotted line here and here is what's called the period separator. So this is every 24 hours. You'll see this line every 24 hours. This indicates a new day has started in the Forex market. Once price, which these candlesticks are considered price. Once price gets on the other side, we're now in a new day. So this is a 24-hour time frame right here. All right. And that's the basics of the actual chart itself. All right. Couple of things you need to learn on how to use here on the MT4 platform is right here on the toolbar. The second icon from the left is the crosshair. This crosshair here will help you do a few things. One, kind of help you line up price to see certain things. You can see over here to the far right, you can see, the actual price over here based on where you have the line at. Then you also down here at the bottom, you can see the date and the time. Now the time is going to be based on your broker. So your broker has a specific server time. I can tell you mine. I forgot the time frame they use or the time zone they use, but I know that they are 8 hours ahead of me. So all I have to do, is count 8 hours behind, and that's what time it is per day. So for example, we're on the 5:15 candle here, 05:15. So it's AM. Well, it's 9:15 here. It's 8 hours behind. They're 8 hours ahead of me. All right, 9:15 here, and it's 05:15 there. It's 8 hours ahead of me. That is, how you use your time. This comes in handy, and I'll explain why with the AIRO software. So make sure you kind of understand the correlation of what time zone that your broker is utilizing versus the time zone that you live in. All right. The crosshair also does a couple other things. Let's say, for example, I want to measure. So I click here, click and hold, and I click up here. There's multiple numbers. The first number there says 34. That tells me from here, where I started the measurement from, to here, to this candle right here, it's 34 candles. All right. We can go count those, but you'll see there's 34 candles. From here to here is 34 candles. The next number to it says 481. Now, 481, that really is 48.1. That's how many pips price has moved in a direction. So from here to here is 34 candles, and price has gone up 48 pips. All right. And then the next number is just price. So at this point area where I have the crosshair at, price is at the 1.35786 price. That's it. So that's what the crosshairs show you. Shows you how many candles you're measuring from, left to right, whatever the case may be. The second number tells you the number of pips. And the third number just tells you price. All right. This will come in handy. You'll need to know this later on. All right. Time frames. So we trade on 4 different time frames. The main time frame we trade on is the minute 15 time frame. That's what we're on right here, M15. Now, what does that mean, M15? It means that every candle takes 15 minutes to form. So as you guys saw, this candle is getting bigger here. In 12 minutes, because this candle's already been forming for 3 minutes. In 12 minutes, so at 9:30 Central Standard Time, where I'm at, 15 minutes later, from when this candle's opened, a new candle will start to form. So every 15 minutes, a new candle pops up and starts to form. All right. The other 3 time frames that we trade the 5 minute, which means that every candle takes 5 minutes. We also trade the H1, which means every candle takes an hour. And then we also trade the H4, which means that every candle takes 4 hours to form. That's it. That is it. All right. So M15 here. Next to the cursor is the vertical line. You click that, and literally you can set a line to be vertical. This comes in handy with strategy number 5. And if you're just trying to see something, or let's say you want to put your line here, this is where you want to come back to, and then you want to click on this button here. And this button right here is the scroll. So if you click on the scroll, like right now, if I have it turned on, and I try to go backwards, as soon as price moves, it will take me back to current price. So I can go back, I can go back, I can go back. And boom, you see it just took me right back to the beginning, because every time price moves, it brings you back to the beginning. If I turn it off, it doesn't matter. I can go back as far as I want, right, without having to worry about price. All right. If I hit it again, it takes me immediately back to the beginning. This next one here is the shift. If I hit the shift, it shifts the screen back to normal view. If I turn it off, if I turn the shift on, now it gives me a little room out here. I like to see a little room. This is where I can see price moving up and down in a certain formation. All right. This vertical line, can be used for multiple reasons. I'll show you how to use the vertical line in strategy 5. So for those of you who have not had opportunity, but in the AP Academy under products page, every product that you have will give you the opportunity for you to watch all the training videos on how to utilize the product that you have purchased with Avoid Prime. So with AIRO, I have multiple videos. There's a setup video, which I'll go over here today. There's, a basics, video on the strategy 1 through 5, and there's 5 more strategies to come. There's a total of 10 strategies now. We used to have 6, then there was 7. Now we're up to 10. All right, and so I've already released 5 strategies so far. Number 6 comes this Thursday, and then so forth and so on until we get all 10 strategies out. All right. So this vertical line, if you want to change the color, you double click on it to make sure these white dots show on either end. When both dots show, it does allow you to do 2 things. It allows you to move it. You just click on it, hold it, and move it. When you double click it, you can't move it. But when you double click it again, To be able to move it, you just right click on it and you go to vertical line properties. Under vertical line properties here, you can change the color. So let's say we change it to yellow. All right, I hit OK, and then boom, there it is, yellow. So about all you really do is, is change the actual color. If you want to delete it, you just right click on it and hit delete. That's all the chart. All right. The next line will be the horizontal line. Same thing. Once you place that, it's always one color. Can't move it right now, but if I double click it to show the white dotted lines on both ends, then I can now hold and drag and move it. All right. I can also right click on it and hit horizontal line properties, and I come here and change the color. All right, change the color. So let's change it to yellow. Hit OK, there it is. And then while the white dotted lines are showing on either end, I can right click it and hit delete. All right. So you have that. And then last but not least, you have the zoom feature right here. Zoom all the way out until it's gray here, and then zoom all the way in. All right. So you zoom into your level of comfort for your eyes. Those are the basics you really need to know about. We're going to look at one advanced aspect of the MT4 trading platform, and then I'll show you guys how to add AIRO to your system. All right. So the advanced level is when you're adding the different Forex pairs that you want to trade. All right. There are 10 pairs that I recommend to trade. However, those are just recommendations. The software works on anything with a chart. For those who don't know, AIRO works with Forex pairs. It works with indices, which if you don't know is the stock market, the different types of stock markets that we have, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, the US 30 or the Dow Jones, you guys may have heard on TV, and even the foreign stock markets, the Germany stock market, the UK, all that, the Japan stock market, all right? It also works with cryptocurrency. It also works with precious metals like gold and silver and platinum. It works with energies like the different types of oil, crude oil, Brent oil. It also works with stocks as well. All right. And so anything with a chart, and these are, with a candlestick chart, it will work with. These are candlesticks. These are considered candlesticks. So the advanced aspect is when you want to add additional pairs. First thing you want to do is come to view. You want to then come down to symbols. And then under symbols, depending on your broker, they will call the categories something different. I have Hugo's Way. So these are what they call the different categories. If you have a different broker, they may call them something else. So the FX majors are the 7 most traded pairs in all of Forex. These are the 7 major pairs. You can click the plus sign and you'll see that here they are. Only one of them has a little gold sign next to it, which means that's the only one I'll be able to add to the chart until I double click on a little gold money box and turn it gold. Then I can add this pair to the chart. All right. Once you come through here and you go to majors, you may also come down to FX crosses. You'll see more pairs. You can go in and add these pairs as well. All right. So let's go over the 10 pairs real quick so you guys know those. Number 1 is the Great Britain Pound US Dollar, GBP USD. This is the first pair. All right. Take a screenshot of that. Take a picture, however you want to do it. All right. Next, we'll go to the crosses. And here are the other 9. Number 2 is EURAD, EURAUD. All right. After that is, Euro Chef is definitely not one. Euro GBP. There we go. Euro GBP, EUR GBP, the Euro Great Britain Pound. All right. So if you guys want to take a picture of this, you can. Here are the other 9 right here. Euro JPY, which is the Euro Japanese Yen. Euro NZD, which is the Euro New Zealand Dollar. GBP AUD, which is the Great Britain Pound Australian Dollar. GBP CAD, which is the Great Britain Pound Canadian Dollar. GBP CHF, which is the Great Britain Pound Swiss Franc. GBP JPY, which is my favorite Forex pair to trade. It's the Great Britain Pound Japanese Yen. And then GBP NZD, which is the Great Britain Pound New Zealand Dollar. Those 9 plus the other one that I showed you earlier, the Great Britain pound, US dollar, those are the 10 recommended pairs for utilizing on AIRO. But again, it works on everything. But start off with these recommended pairs before you start to branch off into anything else. Once you have double clicked on these to turn them gold, you hit close, and then you can find them here in this icon. So under file, you have this icon that's called create a new chart. If you hover your mouse over it, it says create a new chart. You select that, and everything that you've selected will show up here. FX majors and FX crosses. All you do is you go in there and you select which ones you want. So we have GBP USD here on the chart. I'm going to come in here. That's under FX majors. There it is. I'm going to come under crosses, and I'm going to add the rest of them. The Euro GBP, Euro AUD, Euro JPY, GBP CHF, GBP JPY, Euro NZD, GBP AUD, GBP CAD, and GBP NZD. As you can see here, all 10 are across the bottom. They all say M15 because they're always on a 15-minute time frame. That's the time frame that we trade on. All right. All you have to do is just click on the icon for that pair, and it will take you to the chart for that specific pair. All right. Once you've done that, you're just about ready to roll. All right. Next, you will be able to click on this icon here, which is the navigator. Click on navigator. You will see this icon here that says indicators. You want to hit the plus sign next to it, and you will go down and find AIRO V2. AIRO V2, double click on it. You get these settings here. Well, first, it'll come to the about. AIRO V2, this is an Avoria Prime product. The address, www.avoriaprime.com. You go to common, want to make sure that you have allow DLL imports selected. Go to inputs. And the first thing it's going to tell you about is the settings for your alerts. There are two types of alerts that AIRO will send you. A desktop alert and a push notification to your phone alert. All right. Make sure both of those are true. To do so, you just double click it until you get the down arrow here, and you can go in here and toggle between false and true. It needs to be true. A desktop alert will show up on your computer here in the top right, top left-hand corner. And then a push notification, I'll show you how to set that up here in a minute. All right, you want to select OK after that. Let's go set up the push notification. Once you select OK, you can see now the software is on your chart. All right. Now, to set up the push notification for your phone, that way you receive notifications to your phone, that way you don't have to sit behind a computer all day. You want to come here to where it says Tools, select Tools, come down to Options. And then next, you want to go to Notifications. All right, once you hit the notifications, you should see this screen right here. From there, select Enable Push Notifications. And then what you want to do is you want to have MetaTrader 4 app, let me find it real quick, download it on your phone. As you can clearly see here, here's my phone. I have the MetaTrader 4 app downloaded on my phone. What you want to do is on your MetaTrader 4 app, select Settings, and then select Chat and Messages. Settings, Chat, and Messages. When you get that, you get this blank screen here, and at the very bottom is going to give you your My MetaQuotes ID number. That ID number, My MetaQuotes ID, goes right here in this box. Once you type the number in there, hit test. It'll send you a test notification here at the top of the screen. Once you see that, you select OK. All right, you select OK, and then now you will receive notifications to your phone. All right, you need to make sure that notifications on your phone are turned on for the MetaTrader 4 app. MetaTrader 4, MT4, however you want to search for it in the app store that you utilize, whether you're Android or iOS, so that you can find the app. So it's Meta, M-E-T-A, Trader 4, or MT4. All right. Once you have the software here, you want to then next come back up here to your templates, hit save. It's going to give you an error. And then all you do is select OK. And then therefore, when you come back here and you select templates, you just come back here and find AIRO, and it will automatically save for you. All right. All right, once that is done, before we move on to talk more about AIRO, let me come back here and see if there's any questions. If you have any questions, guys, put them into the question and answer box, and I'll go ahead and answer those for you. No questions right now, so we'll jump back into it. All right, we now have the software on our chart. The reason why we save the template is because now we can go to every chart and just come up here and select AIRO. And it will automatically, because again, remember we save it, just like we save the default. When you hit save template on AIRO, you want to just name it AIRO. That way now you can just, every time you come to the chart, you can just hit AIRO, hit the button, and it will automatically put it on there for you without you having to go over here and open up your navigator and find it. All right. It already has the settings set for you. Now let's go back into AIRO settings. If you ever want to go into the settings, you want to right click on the black of the screen, come down to indicators list, find AIRO, and hit edit. And then you can make your edit, you can make your changes here. The only changes you'll make are turning on, making sure these are true. These should come default already turned on. And then you want to change your money zone. Now, the money zone, it tells you what time to set it for. Money zone, 12 a.m. Central Standard Time to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, for me, and for anybody using Hugo's Way, that time frame is 0800 to 2000 because Hugo's Way is military time. All right. Now, how do I know that is the right time frame? Because I've traded that time frame. As I told you guys, I am 8 hours ahead or behind the time zone that my broker utilizes. All right. So 0800 for me is 12 p.m. 12 a.m. because 0800 is 8 a.m. military time. So 12 a.m. is 8 hours before. And that is this little zone right here, this little gray shaded area that you see every 24 hours. That is the money zone. I'll go over that later on. But you want to just make sure that you match up your broker's server time with 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. So whatever the time frame is, you find the time frame down here, as you can clearly see here. You look here, here's the start of the money zone. Look, it says 800. Here's the end of the money zone. It says, let me screw it over there. It is 2000. All right, that's 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. Remember, they're 8 hours ahead of me. So if it's 12 noon and it's 2000 here, 2000 is 8 p.m. in military time. All right, so you got to be able to do the conversion with your broker server time based off of 12 a.m. Central Standard Time to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Once you got that set, you hit OK. And we'll go back to it here. All you do is double click in here. 08 semicolon 00 20 semicolon 00. Check to make sure there's no typos. Hit OK. Hit OK again. Hit close, and your settings will adjust based on the settings you put in there. All right. Everybody's broker is different. Therefore, you're going to need to adjust it depending on their actual broker server time. All right. All right, great. Once you have that, I saw a question real quick. Let me check on that real quick. Hugo's Way, 0800 to 2000. All right. Oh, this call is only for strategy number one. We won't be going over any of the strategies. So this call is only for strategy. This is just an introductory call and basics of how to use the software of MT4 and how to use the AIRO software. Yes, Tim, you have to do that for every chart. You have to put, once you put the software on each chart, you don't have to do it again. You can just leave it like it is. The VPS that you pay for each month is like another computer, just in the cloud. So each Saturday, I recommend rebooting it. And then each Sunday, just set up all your charts again with the software, and you can leave them like that for the rest of the week. I reboot mine every Saturday to make sure it's fresh, it's ready to roll, and then I don't touch it again until the following Saturday. So I recommend the same thing for you guys as well. All right. So again, if you have Hugo's Way, take a screenshot, 0800 to 2000. The begin is 0800, the end is 2000. That is 12 a.m. Central Standard Time to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, based off of the conversion with Hugo's Way. All right. Any else's brokers, you'll have to do the conversion yourself. All right, based on their brokerage time frame. The easiest thing to do is just to be on the chart at 12 a.m. Central Standard Time, your time, and then you'll be able to adjust it from there. So you know, oh, it starts at 0500 or it starts at 0700, whatever time frame it may start at. All right. Once you have that, one other thing I recommend is the one-click trading button. That way you can get into trades sooner. Right-click on the black of the screen, select one-click trading here, and you'll get this box here in the top left-hand corner. All right. This box has three different things you need to utilize. Number one is the lot size here in the middle. Mine says 0.01. All right. Now, we'll talk about lot sizes real quick. All right, the micro lot. Zoom in a little bit. The micro lot is written as 0.01 up to 0.09. The 0.01 you see here is a 10-cent lot size. And the 0.09 is a 90-cent lot size, which means that for every pip price moves up or down, you are either going to make or lose 10 cents up to 90 cents using the micro lot between 0.01 to 0.09. Now, I said the word pip, and I'll come back and teach you that after we talk about the micro lots. I'll teach you how to count a pip and talk to you about what pips are. Right now, let's start off with the lot sizes. There are three types of lot sizes: the micro lot, the mini lot, the standard lot. This is the micro lot here. It's written as 0.01 all the way up to 0.09. So 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, so forth and so on until you get to 0.09. All right. So a 0.06 lot size is 60 cents per lot size. So when price moves up 1 pip, you are up 60 cents. And vice versa if it goes the opposite direction. All right. Next is the mini lot. So the mini lot is written as 0.1 to 0.99. All right. What this is 0.1 is a dollar lot size. For every pip price moves, that's $1. All right. Up to 0.99, which is $9.90 per pip. All right. And last but not least, my favorite lot size, standard lot. All right, great. So the standard lot is written as standard lot is written as 1.00 to infinity, because the more money you have in your account, the bigger the lot sizes you can put on. I've seen a bank trade before, and they had a $100,000 lot size on, which a $100,000 lot size means that anytime price moves up or down 1 pip, that's $1 million per move. All right. As you can see here, a 1.00 lot size is a $10 lot size, which means that if price moves up 1 pip, that's $10 up, and vice versa if it goes 1 pip down, and so forth and so on. All right. Those are the 3 types of lot sizes. I recommend, and you can take this and write this down, take a screenshot of it. I recommend for proper risk management, I recommend using a 0.01 lot size for every $100 in your account. So if you have $500 in your account, multiply 5 times 0.01. That's 0.05. All right. If you have $1,000, multiply by 10. If you have 2,000, multiply by 20, and so forth and so on. All right. That's what I recommend, just from the standpoint of managing proper risk management. You have to lose 1,000 pips with this method. With this strategy, this setup, before you lose all your money in your account. All right. You're only going to risk a small amount of money of your portfolio. So if you have a $100 account or a $100,000 account, if you set it up based on these settings, you will only be risking 4% of your account per trade. And we'll talk about how you do it later on. All right, but go ahead and take a screenshot of this, take pictures. These are what lot sizes are, the 3 types. And there is my recommendation from a, just a money management system of how you want to manage your actual trades and the amount of money that you're risking each trade. All right. Let's go to another. Now we're going to talk about pips. Pips stand for price interest point. Try to zoom. All right. Price interest point. So every pip move is like a stock move. When a stock moves $1, that's 1 point. When price moves a pip, that's a pip. When you talk about Forex pairs, so points are in the stock market terms. It moves so many points today, and pips are in the Forex terminology. All right, pips equal money. The more pips you get correct in your direction. So if you say price is going to go up and it goes up so many pips, you win. If you say it's going to go down and it goes down so many pips, you win. All right. Now, if you say it's going to go up and it goes down, you could potentially lose, and vice versa. All right. So pips equal price interest point. That is how we measure the movement or the difference in price valuation between the 2 currency pairs, because the Great Britain pound US dollar are just 2 currency pairs matched together, and the actual pips are measuring how valuable one pair is versus another. All right. If price is up, that means the pair the base pair is stronger. If price is going down, that means the price at the very beginning of the actual the pair is getting weaker, and the pair at the end is getting stronger. All right. That is how that works. So there are 2 ways to count pips, and there are 4 different ways that pips are written based off of price. So price is written with 2 or 3 decimals. Two or three numbers after the decimal. All right. And then price is also written as 4 or 5 numbers after the decimal. So what exactly do I mean by that? So as you can see here on the Great Britain pound US dollar, if you look over here, look at this price right here. It says 1.34570. All right. 1.34570 is price. That is price right now. All right. If price goes up 1.34580, or price goes down all right. So here's how you count pips. If there are 4 or 5 numbers after the decimal place, so you see here 1 point, that's the decimal there, 34570. If there are 4 or 5 numbers after the decimal place, then the 4th digit after the decimal place is your pip. All right. So if 1.34570 is the price, which we showed over here, the 7 is the pip. Therefore, if 7 turns to 6 and it's 1.34560, price has gone down 1 pip. If it's 1.34580, price has gone up 1 pip from this original price. All right. Now, let's look over here. And let's say that it's 2 or 3 numbers after the decimal place. And we'll use just the first 3 numbers, first 3 digits, 1.345. So if price is at 1.345, all right, price is at, again, 2 or 3 numbers after the decimal place. The second digit will be your pip that you count. So if price is 1.345, the 4 is going to be your digit you count for your pip. So if price goes from 1.345 to 1.335, price has gone down 1 pip. And if price goes from the 1.345 up to 1.355, price has gone up 1 pip. That is how you count your pips manually. All right. Now, if you want to cheat, you use your cursor. And let's say we want to count from here, this candle, to the top of this candle here. And you can see the middle number says 489, which means that's 48.9 pips. So the tool will help you count the pips for you if you use the crosshairs and look at the number in the middle. All right. Make sure the number in the middle, you just move the decimal place over 1. So instead of it saying 489, it's going to be 48.9. All right. It's going to be 48. Now if it says 1,274, that's really 127.4. The last number, you always move the decimal place in front of it. All right. That's how you count the pips utilizing this crosshair tool. All right. So take a screenshot of this. Price interest point is what pip stands for. It is just the way that we count the movement of price in the Forex market. All right. Let me stop and see if there's any questions. All right, so someone asked, can we install AIRO on the desktop version of MT4? So inside the VPS is the desktop version. Now, if you want to access it outside of the VPS through the website, you can actually download a Microsoft Remote Desktop. It's called RDP, or just type in Microsoft Remote Desktop into your app developer. So whether it be iOS or it be Android or just Microsoft, usually Microsoft computers come with it built in already. You can actually use the credentials in your back office to log in through there. That is what's the recommended the most, is to, recommended to actually log in through your remote desktop for a better user experience. However, you cannot take AIRO and just put it on your regular computer. It does not work that way. All right. It is protected and utilized through the VPS. So I advise you to download the VPS onto your phone, your tablet, and then also on your computer, the remote desktop, so you can have access to it no matter which device you're using and no matter where you're at in the world. The cool thing about having AIRO in the back office through your, through your account is that, let's say you lose your phone, you lose your computer, or you want to show it to somebody on your computer. All you have to do is just log into your website, and you always have access to it. So that's pretty cool right there. Allows you to always have access to it, even on the go. All right. Someone asked about, please can show us again how to save AIRO template in the toolbar. Sure, guys. On the setup videos, I have in back office. Please go watch the videos. All right. Please go and watch the videos. The back office under AP Academy. Select product there. Your product. As long as you have AIRO selected as the product you're utilizing, you will have access to all the videos. One of the videos is the setup video that I have that shows you everything we just went over when it came to AIRO and setting it up. So counting pips and all that I don't show, but setting up the actual software, saving the template is all shown there. You want to come up here on the toolbar, click on this icon that says templates, hit save template, save the name, hit save. You get an error, that's fine. Select OK, it will automatically save for you. That is it. That's how you save it. All right. All right, great. So let's move to a different chart so we can talk about AIRO. So AIRO, here is AIRO. There are multiple different types of icons on AIRO. I'll kind of explain to you different aspects of AIRO so you guys have a better understanding. Number one aspect are the red and green zones. So these zones are support and resistance zones. Red is resistance. It's like the ceiling. If I throw a ball at the ceiling, it's going to hit the ceiling and fall off. The green zones are like the floor. If I drop a ball on the floor, it's going to hit the floor and bounce off. That is all price does every day. It bounces off the ceiling and the floor all day and all along, all night, all right, every day. All right. Next, you have this blue line. It's just kind of squiggly line. This is the moving average. I can't tell you exactly which moving average this is, but let's say, for example, it's the 100 moving average. What a 100 moving average means is that it's going to look at the closed price, or whatever price closed at for the last 100 candles. And therefore you're going to have a moving average, which means the price is going to be, moving up and down. You see this line moving up and down based off of those candles. Now it's called a moving average because when a new candle opens, the oldest candle, it deletes the information for it and it adds the information for the candle that just closed. That's why it's moving, because when price moves up, over time, the line moves up. When price moves down, the line moves down, as you can see right here. All right. Next, we already talked about the shaded area. These are what's called the money zone. The money zone is a 12-hour time frame that it tells us this is the best time to trade during the day, during the 24 hours that we have in each day. The reason being is during this 12-hour time frame, over 80% of all money is traded in the Forex market. That is why it's the best time to trade, because that is where most of the money is traded at. All right. We want to trade with the money because price trends a lot better with the money, which allows you to make more money and make it even quickly. If you trade outside of the time frame, you'll see that price just kind of, as you can see here, price doesn't really do much. It just kind of sits there. It's dropping a little bit, but not too much. It gets inside the money zone and look at it. Starts moving, big drop. Gets outside the money zone, doesn't really do much. Gets inside the money zone, big drop. Up, down, up. It moves during that time frame. This is not a coincidence. This 12-hour time frame is the time frame where over 80% of the market moves. There is $6.8 trillion a day that goes through the Forex market. Over 80% of it happens during this 12-hour time frame. We want to trade with the money. All right. Great. Next are the candles. As you know, in the default, our candles, we go to default, our candles are red and green all day long. Red and green, red and green. With the AIRO software, I've designed a layer to put over them to make them what's called trend colored candles. So for the most part, if they're underneath the moving average, they're going to be red, which dictates that price is in a sell trend when it's underneath the moving average. When price is above the moving average, it's typically going to be green because it indicates that price is in an uptrend. All right. And then last but not least, well, actually before that, you should have the AIRO pip counter. Anytime you put a trade on, it will pop up here. You'll get the pair underneath that you're in and tell you how many pips you're up or down. And if you're in multiple trades, it will count all your pips and let you know if you're negative across all your trades or if you're positive across every trades. This update will be coming where I'll be moving this AIRO pip counter to the top left-hand corner. That way everyone can see it. For some reason, some people will see it perfectly. Some people have huge monitors and the pip counter is over here towards the middle. Some, their screens are too small and they can barely see it. Like they may see the A here, but they don't see the rest of it. So I'm going to be moving the pip counter so that it's universal for everyone. It's going to be in this top left-hand corner here, right below where you would add the one-click trading button. So it'll be slightly below that. All right. And so it's just a pretty cool tool to be able to utilize and understand what trades you're actually in and if you're positive or negative from a pip standpoint on that trade. All right. And then, of course, if you want to show somebody how you're doing, it's pretty cool to be able to take a screenshot or a picture of this chart when you have multiple trades and they're all green and you're winning and you can show all your trades. All right. And then last but not least is the the arrows themselves. These arrows, there are 3 types of arrows. You'll see more than 3 arrows, but there are 3 types of arrows. And they're all based off of the 3 strategies that I have been trading with for the last 2+ years. All right. Strategy number 1 is a confirmed trend change. As you can see here, price was uptrend, hit the resistance level, came down, down arrow. That first down arrow right there, that is a confirmed trend change. Price has confirmed to have changed directions. As you can see, it stayed red for a while. The next arrow is what's called a continuation of the trend. Typically, price will pull back and then drop again or move in that direction that it was originally going in, and you'll get a second arrow in that direction, which helps you to understand that, all right, we're in a continued trend pattern in a specific direction. In this case, sell. All right. And then the third arrow is going to be a counter trend arrow. As you can see here, we know we're in the sell trend. We get an up arrow, and then price goes away from it. All that tells us is what? It tells us that we have a counter trend, which means price may be reversing its trend. That's all it's identifying us. But we don't take every arrow. All right. We use strategy number 1, which is the bag entry method. The bag entry method keeps us on the right side of the trades. Again, like I talked about in the disclaimers, there are no guarantees. However, the beta test team and traders after the beta test team, since we've launched now this is our 5th week, they are seeing over 80% success rate. Stick to the rules and you will have the best opportunity of reaching those same goals as well. All right. So what is the strategy number 1? We'll go over that. We'll answer some questions, then we'll call it a day. So strategy number 1 is the bag entry method. So the first thing you want to do is you want to zoom out all the way. You want to zoom out all the way and you want to count your zones. Whichever you have more zones of tells you what the trend is. So you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red zones, 1, 2 green zones. That means price is in a downtrend, which means that you should only be looking for sell trades. You only look for sell arrows, down arrows. All right, great. So we know that. We zoom in. All right, and now we look for what? We look for money zones. We only want to take trades inside of the money zone in the direction of the trend. So we're only looking for sell trades inside the money zone that point down. All right. We have none here. We have none here. We have some here. As you can clearly see here, towards the end of the day, we had a sell arrow here, which led us to the big drop. Now, how do you know exactly when to get in? Next, you need to use the bag entry method. BAG stands for, or is an acronym for getting paid, get money. That's the slang term for it. You know, with the trading tool of utilizing AIRO, BAG stands for bounce, arrow, go. So if we're looking for a sale, We want price to bounce off of the resistance or the ceiling zone, fall below the moving average, get a down arrow, and the candle be red. Now, it doesn't matter if it's not red, as long as it's bouncing off the resistance and you get an arrow pointing to a candle that's below the moving average. All right. Once you get that, you also want to make sure that your entry is 20 pips or more away from the next zone. This is why understanding how to count pips is important. So you can see here, let's zoom in. You would take your cursor. All right. This arrow will only pop up when this candle is closed. So when you put the trade in, you're going to automatically put it in on this next arrow here, this next candle here. So you start from the bottom because it's start from the top. And you see here, if you measure from the top down to the bottom, that is 156. So 15.6 pips, which means we do not have 20 pips or more room, so we do not take the trade. But if this zone was not here, or it was further down and we had more than 200, this number said 200 or more, which is 20.0 pips, then we would take the trade. That's what bounce arrow go means. Bounce off the resistance, bounce off the support, receive an arrow in the new direction, and then go or take the trade. So it bounced off, it was heading up, bounced off resistance, came down, we had an arrow in the new direction of the trend, sell, collect 20 pips, take profit, 40 pips, stop loss. That is our last aspect of the money management trade. When we trade, we use a take profit of 20 pips. We use a stop loss of 40 pips, which means that when price hits our take profit, it will automatically close out. Or when price hits our stop loss, it will automatically close out. That way we do not risk more money than we actually want to lose at any given time. All right. Now, how do you set this take profit and stop loss? So again, we talked about adding this one-click button up here. All right. Let's go back to the beginning. You can see here, we're trying to head up an uptrend a little bit. So I'm going to select buy. Remember, buy at the asks, sell at the bid. I select buy. And again, this is my demo account. So I'm playing around that way I can make these trades. You can see here, it puts a dotted green line at the top line. All right. Why? Well, because this is the ask line. All right, let me add something real quick so we can see it better here. There we go. So you see dotted green line was at the red line. The red line is our ask line. This white line is our bid line. So had I put a sell on, boom, sell, you see the white dotted line. All right. And you can see here the pip counter starting to add up. And again, we're on the Euro Great Britain pound pair. If it's green, that means this position is in a buy. If it's red, that means this position is in a sell. All right. And you can see where we stand. The buy, we're -1 pips. The Euro GBP sell, we're at -2 pips, and they combine, we're -3 pips. So it lets us know where we at on each individual open trade we have, and the pip counter lets us know where we're at overall. All right, so I'm going to, if you want to close these, you want to select this chart right here, right underneath charts. It's a little white and blue dialog box. This is your terminal. Select that, and at the bottom, everything will pop up. You'll see here, I've got a balance of $4,901.97. And then it shows me all my trades. I'm in a buy, I'm in a sell, both at 0.01 lot size, which is a micro lot size. Tells me the symbol, tells me the price that I got in at, tells me my stop loss and take profit. I'll show you how to set those. And it tells me current price. Also tells me the commission. All right. So how much I'm paying from a fee standpoint. Brokers make their money from the fees. All right. The swap. So this is the swap. If I get in a trade here and I don't get out of the trade until here, I'm going to pay a swap fee. Why? If you're holding a trade past the dotted lines, you will automatically get charged a swap fee by the broker. That's why it's not recommended to hold trades too long term unless you know what you're doing, because you will incur additional charges. All right. So if you want to close these trades out, what you do is you just select the X next to it. So I want to close out this because I think we're in a buy. Come down here, find the sell, which is this one right here. Go all the way to the far right, hit the X. and you'll see it disappears. And all you left is just the buy. All right. Now to buy, both the white line and the red line, so both the bid and ask line, need to be above this dotted green line before I'm in profit. All right. If you're in a sell, it's vice versa. Both the white and red lines need to be below the dotted green line before you're in profit. All right. The difference between the bid and the ask, so this little gap here, is called the spread. If you see the spread more than 5 pips apart, then you need not to enter into the trade. All right. Now, next to set our take profit and stop loss. I am in a buy. So if I want to set my take profit, if I'm in a buy, I expect price to go up. So take profit will be above. Stop loss means the price goes against us, and we just want to make sure that it closes out at a point where we don't lose too much money. We don't want to lose our whole account. So to move these, you want to hover your mouse over it until it says that, drag to modify, click and hold with your mouse, and drag to modify. So I move it right here. That's fine for informational purposes. But actually, we'll go with 20 pips. So we know we want to go 20 pip take profit, 40 pip stop loss. You look at this number right here. It's going to tell you the actual trade number, take profit, how much money you would make. So this is TP. If I pull it below the dotted line, you see here the numbers stay the same, but it says SL for stop loss. That's how you know if you're setting it correctly based off of take profit or stop loss. So if it's above the buy line, your take profit. If it's below the buy line, stop loss, and vice versa for a sale. All right. So we're in the buy. We expect price to go up, and we want to wait for this right here to say 200. That's close enough. 201. We drop it. 201 means prices that will go up. If it hits this here, it'll hit 20.1 pips. And if it does, if you want to see exactly how much that is, just put your line over it, your mouse over it here, and you get a little information box that pops up. Come on. There it is. And you see there, it says drag to modify. It says profit, 2.72 US dollars. So $2.72. And then pips, 201. That's 20.1. So if price gets here, and if both the red line and white line get above this dotted red line, above it, it will automatically close my trade out with that profit. All right. And then if we want to set it again, just drag to modify. Put your mouse on it, drag to modify down until you see this thing right here says 400, because that's 40 pips. Boom. Put your mouse over it to see exactly what it says. Drag to modify. We don't want to do that. Profit, negative $5.44. Pips, negative 40.1. All right. That's how you set your take profit. That's how you set your stop loss. As you can see, we are 1 pip in profit right now. I am up 12 cents, or was up 12 cents. The commission is 5 cents, so we were only up 5 or 7 cents. So this right here, the white part of the chart here of the actual terminal will show you what your profit is for that trade. But then below it, it'll show you what your overall profit is. So what it does is it adds all your losses and all your trades that are open, that are in losses, that are losing and winning. And then it also subtracts out the commission. And we'll let you know. That's why it says 5 cents positive here and then 0 cents here, because it's accounting for the 5 cents commission. I'm going to close that out. Boom, I didn't lose any money on that trade. I closed out. That is how you set your take profit and stop loss for this software. All right. So let's go back and look at a couple examples. I'll look at to see if there's any questions, and we'll go from there. So you see here in this day last week, we zoom out. We clearly see we have more red than green, so we know we're in the downtrend. We zoom in. On this day, inside the money zone, bounce, arrow. Getting the trade and hold it. I mean, that's over 100 pips right there. So forth and so on. You only need 20. Got that pretty quick. And so what you do is once you enter into a trade off of a bounce, arrow, go entry method, you automatically will set your take profit, set your stop loss. And in this case, we would got in right here. This is where we have the arrow, which means we get in on this candle. That is at 1.61621. I'm going to manually count 20 pips to take profit for a sale. That's going to be 1.61421. That's 422. It's pretty close right there. And then what's another one up? So our original price is 1.61621. So I'm going to go 40 pips the wrong way, which is going to be 1.62021. That's 019. It's close enough. So that gives you an idea of how to manually set your take profit and stop loss. This is what it would look like for this sale. As you can clearly see here, it didn't come anywhere near your stop loss. Price came down and hit your take profit, went right through it and kept on going. So you didn't come in, you would have got in here at this price here. You'd have got out here. Didn't even come close to hitting your stop loss. All right. It only went backwards the wrong way, 12 pips. So if you're using a dollar lot size, which is a 0.1 or a mini lot, you would have been negative $12, but you would eventually close out with positive $20. All right. That is how you use the AIRO software with strategy number one, which is the bag entry method. You know, as you take time, please make sure you master this strategy first before you move on to the additional strategies. There will be 10 total strategies. We currently only have 5 that are out right now. And number 6 will be coming out this Thursday. Every Thursday, look out for new strategies to drop. All right, let's jump in here to check, see if there's any questions. So the different red, green bars are different sizes based off of the candles, based on price. So price is, is what dictates those zones to pop up. So the longer the wicks are, the bigger the zones will be. The smaller the wicks are, or the smaller the candles are, the smaller the zones will be. The size of the support or resistance mean nothing. They don't mean anything. I cannot show you how to get ATR because I don't teach ATR with the software. So that is not something that we utilize as of right now. What percentage of arrows do I think are actual entry points? Probably about 60% of them. 60%. That's why you get the notification to your phone. You go check your chart to see if the rules match. If they do, take the trade. If they don't, close the VPS and wait for another signal. On the EA trade, would you have been spooked by that single green candle appearing? So look at it. I don't know. I don't get spooked. I just set my take profit. I set my stop loss. And if price is my stop loss, it's my stop loss. It hits my take profit, it's my take profit. No, I wouldn't be spooked by this. So this we're talking about when it turned green. Nope, wouldn't care. Take profit is up here. I'm sorry, stop loss is here, take profit down here. And by the time it got real close to hitting the take profit, before it even hit that green, before it turned green here, I may have closed it out early just because I can see now it's outside of the money zone. And I know price slows down then. So I might have closed out early just to close out before the end of the day. I don't want to accrue swap fees. All right. Plus, it's already outside of the money zone. I don't like trading outside of the money zone. All right. And then last question, how many notifications do you get each day? So typically with all 10 pairs that I recommend, you're going to get somewhere between 1 and 5. Sometimes I've seen as much as 7, but most of the time it's between 1 and 5 notifications. Every time you get an arrow that pops up is when you get a notification. So the arrows are your notification. So typically it's going to be between 1 and 5 per day. There are some days when you get none. but typically it's between 1 and 5 per day. All right. All right. Last call for questions, and then we'll shut it down, guys. Last call for questions. If you go full Monty like Dante put them all the pairs, you have you're gonna get between 1 and 5 on each pair. It's the same on each pair. Typically, some pairs are slower, so you don't get as many. Some pairs are more volatile, so you get more. The less volatile your pairs are, the less opportunities you receive as far as notifications. The more volatile, the more entries you have. All right. Anybody else? Thank you for jumping on. All right, guys. Hey, thank you guys for jumping on. Remember, we won't have any live trading sessions this week. Look out for Thursday for the strategy number 6 to drop. And I'll see you guys on the next call. Thank you.